Hello there. Good afternoon. Welcome everybody. Save with Crypto here from the channel Save with Crypto. The guy below me today is Maff. Hello, Maff. How are you doing?
Hello. Hey. Good. Yeah. So Maff from the channel Mafftopia, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So,
All right. Well, I should have said that. And you did say good. Now
I'm making little complaints in a notebook,
Yeah.
Not
Well,
really.
I'll expect to receive a list of misdemeanors later on.
Yeah, so all in red ink,
But anyway, here we are on Good Friday, and why is it actually called good? Because it didn't end very good for old Jesus, did it? Really,
Well, it's good for someone, I suppose. Unless it's ironically named, I suppose. Do they have sarcasm back in those days?
I don't know. Don't know. But yeah, I don't know why it's good. Anyway,
could be one of those biblical mistranslations, I guess.
Yeah, I did actually start making a thumbnail for today by getting me and you, and I kind of said like, put me on a crucifix, and then have like, then have you laughing at me,
Oh, there you go. You can sample that laugh and use it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was the idea. But they got our heads the wrong way around. So you were actually on the crucifix, and I was like cackling away at you, and I just found it too disturbing. Actually, I thought if I find this disturbing, then I'm sure we're going to get complaints, and we'll probably get the channel
and
banned.
we might have got banned or whatever. Yeah. Although I suppose maybe a good one would have been if one of us was kind of carrying the cross, and the other one, I can't remember, was it Peter? I really can't remember, but one of them, or somebody came up and said, "Oh, let me bear the weight of that cross," and took it, and then that person ended up getting crucified. I think, or maybe that was from the Life of Brian. I think, but I think that was actually based on some actual thing. Because I think in the Gnostic texts they actually have that Jesus actually survived.
Okay,
and wasn't crucified at all. It's a bit heretical, but still.
Yeah. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
What it boils down to. Yeah.
Yeah, but God, what a way to spend Easter, though, eh?
Yeah, all that Easter promise, and like looking forward to I don't know, chocolate eggs and things, having a nice time, just putting his feet up, and gets crucified.
I know. Well, he probably thought though, sort of like, if I can just resurrect myself on Sunday, I'll be there in time to get me chocolate egg, So
yeah.
Anyway, right, we'll probably get totally cancelled for this now, but but there you go. Anyway, right, there's a few people here today, which is good. Nick's here as usual. Florin, of course. Aussie, good day, lads. I have to say that every time he says that. WJM. Can we go over what the other... Oh, sorry, let's pop that on the thing. Sorry, this is your job, really, isn't it? Can we go over what other key factors to check on Quadzilla if we get a 1 hour red or green big bar?
Okay. Yeah.
We can certainly do that. Aussie saying, and you can't eat red meat. Oh, okay. I haven't so far today.
That's lucky. Yeah. Phew, dodged that bullet.
All right, and Aussie's already overdosed on chocolate. Oh, okay.
Aren't you supposed to wait until Sunday for that? But then that always seems a bit of a big ask, doesn't it? Just got all that chocolate around the place, and you can't touch it until Sunday.
Who was that? Who was that? There was somebody used to be on Radio 1 who used to do the thing about confessions. Was it Steve Wright or someone like that?
Oh, probably, yeah.
There was a spot where people had actually, phone in with their confession. It's something that they've been like holding back for years,
Oh, it's probably Simon Mayo, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it might have been, yeah. But there was a brilliant one once. It was this guy. I mean, I think by this time he was, well into his like 30s or whatever. And he was saying that when he was a teenager, him and his girlfriend did some babysitting for some friends, and there was two young kids there, and basically the children had gone to bed and they were asleep and everything like that, and this young teenage couple doing the babysitting. They were thinking, God, I really fancy like nibbling something, I wonder if they got any chocolate around here. So they kind of hunted around the house, and they found some Easter eggs, and they thought, oh, well, it's a bit tempting, and they thought, well, they just eat one of them, and somehow replace it. They hadn't really thought it through at all, but they just fancied this Easter egg, and being whatever age they were, they thought they could get away with it, So they kind of one of these Easter eggs, and then thought, well, we're going to get in trouble for this. We may as well eat the other one. So they did,
Well,
but
yeah.
but they kept a small amount of the chocolate left, right? And then when the children were asleep, they kind of snuck into their bedroom and smeared chocolate around their lips. and apparently the people who they were babysitting for, they didn't actually come back when they didn't get to see. No, I think they came home, but they didn't have any cash on them or something like that. So they said, can you come back on Sunday, and we'll give you the money then? So they kind of went back to get their money on the Sunday, and as they opened the door, they heard the parents screaming at the kids, saying like, "You've spoiled Easter."
Oh, no.
And this guy had been keeping us a secret for about 21 years or something. But,
so finally confessed to it.
Yeah,
not something that I imagine he would have been absolved of his sins for. I think that.
Well,
it's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's a good story. Good story, though. Isn't it? That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay. One thing I meant to mention. I probably should have mentioned at the start, but this might have to be a fairly short live stream for me.
Okay.
So you can stay on if you want, of course, but like 30 to 40 minutes. So I think, because I'm being called away to go shopping.
For Easter eggs,
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Food.
Okay. No problem at all. I'm actually going to do that recording with Arson from Tap Global this afternoon, actually. So
this afternoon. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, so I'm doing that too. So I need to sort of prepare myself for that, because I don't want to do it wrong and forget to press record like I did last time. But
anyway, is that another confession by any chance? Yeah.
No, do you remember we did the one with Roman, and I started talking?
Oh, yeah.
And then I'd forgotten to press record, hadn't I? Sort of.
So had to start again. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to start again.
As it turned out, I think the second go was better anyway. Because
it's usually the case.
More warmed up, got practiced, and so on. So it's fine. Yeah.
But I'd feel a bit of a spanner doing that if, been trying to get hold of Arson for ages, and if I did that and made some stupid mistake. And so, actually, can you do it all again, please? Anyway,
if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So anyway, this thing on the screen here, this is actually a 2-bit account with some demo funds. There's about 10 grand there. So if we see any opportunities, we can do a pretend trade, if you like. That'd be
nice.
Quite a laugh. Yeah. Quite a laugh.
We'd best do some TA then and see if we can.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just very, very briefly, and when I'm sort of looking for things, I've normally got like the 1, 3, and normally 12 time frames open, just looking for things really. I mean, the 1 minute's been sort of bing bonging around quite nicely, actually, but at the moment I'm not sure really, so I'll be looking for your wisdom. I did notice that no pressure, but I didn't.
So seen from airplane now, just absolutely sweating, sweating buckets.
Anyway, right. I did notice on the 1 hour time frame, whereas back on Tuesday, sort of we went bullish with the yellow 21 EMA over the 55 EMA. That was all good on Tuesday. That was looking great, but yesterday morning actually sort of went bearish again, and that's been heading down since. That said, what I did notice was I think we talked about this yesterday, didn't we? Or no, we didn't actually. But yeah, so we got this. Well, these have started to appear, haven't they? These bearish retracements here. Because remember we were talking about the two things together, weren't we?
Yes. Yeah.
So that kind of happened, and this last one happened. So the price came down, went back to that. Didn't actually close this step 3, but it did do that at about 3 o'clock this morning. So that came down there, boom. So that one's done. It's been going up since, really. So I'm actually wondering if we're going to get a little bit more of a push up, maybe to this sort of level here. Anyway, that's what I think. But that isn't very what do you call it? Very well thought out. So let's go to something. Hang on. Nick's saying, do you have 2-bit loading problem? Loading as in
just loading the page,
as in putting
or as in loading. Loading funds.
Oh, is that what it means?
I don't know. No, I assumed loading the page.
Oh, okay.
Was it taking a long time to load?
No, I don't see it myself, actually.
It's probably fine, I think.
As far as actually loading actual crypto and stuff on it, I haven't actually done it. I've only ever used, you know, like trial funds or that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, it seems all right to me. I mean, I'm not gonna recommend this as an exchange yet until they fix a few things. One of them being the trailing stop loss, which if you set one, it's invisible, which is ridiculous.
So it sounds like that's the main thing, isn't it? Because it's the one you mentioned the other day.
Yeah, so it's the sort of thing that really annoys me, because nobody does a stop loss properly. I mean, I think ByBit do it really well, but they don't allow a partial stop loss, a partial trading stop loss.
How strange. Okay. Yeah, didn't realize it. ByBit.
Yeah, no, it's either all or nothing. Bitunix.
What's the point of that? That's insanely broken. I think, because of course you're going to want to set up multiple stops, like take. I mean, I know it's the opposite of a take profit, but I guess they would have partial take profits, so maybe it's not so bad. But still, you want to de-risk if that's your trading strategy. So you can de-risk a trade if it's kind of going in the wrong direction, rather than like throwing more money into it to lower the entry level.
Sure. Yeah. However, I do like to use them as a kind of trailing take profit. So, for example, if you had a trade like this and you're let's put it on a bigger time frame. Yeah, so say you had a trade like this, and the price was going up, and then you didn't know what you wanted to. Well, you didn't have a specific sort of price target in mind, sort of thing, But if the price was up here, say, and then you'd set a stop loss, so it was like back about $200, then you could quite merrily go to sleep knowing that if it kind of peaked up in the night, that would pull at the stop loss with it. It would come back and then do a partial take profit, which you might want to do rather than closing the entire position, So I do actually use trading stop losses as trading take profit.
Yeah, I must admit, I do that a little bit. Just it's probably a bad habit the way I do it, to be honest. So like the trade's gone into profit, and then I'm paying a bit too much attention to it and just like nudging the stop loss up behind it as the price goes up.
I do that.
Yeah. It isn't a good habit. It's we can be more disciplined than that. But hey, it's also kind of fun. Adds a bit of adrenaline to it, I suppose.
Yeah, but so far the only I think the only people who are actually doing trading stop loss is really good are Blofin and Bitunix, but both of those are a little bit confusing to set up, you know, whereas like the ByBit one is like really straightforward. So I don't know, just to me, like nobody's done it quite right. It's almost like, you know, I always judge like an Indian restaurant on the quality of their sag paneer, you know, because you know, at very worst, it's like this one I went to in Brighton, which was like, it was like a tin of spinach with a dollop of cottage cheese on it, you know, and that was like
that sounds nice, to be honest. Yum
well,
yum.
it's
Give
nice.
me their address.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's not the same as like your proper spinachy stuff with the nice bouncy paneer cheese on, you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
But I don't know.
There's limp spinach, isn't there? Like out of a tin, like you say. There's Popeye spinach.
Yeah. But I don't know. But yeah, so I was, because it's the sort of thing that if they got that right, then it's pretty much like they'll get everything else right, you know. So I kind of to me, a trading stop loss is the sag paneer of exchanges. Right, that probably
you need like a award badge that you can award them or something for.
Yeah.
Official Save with Crypto Sag Paneer award.
Absolutely. But I don't know, just, you know, one of those things. So you got like something that's, I mean, it's not even that hard to make sag paneer, you know, so it can't be that hard to do a trading stop loss either, surely. Anyway, right. Anyway, right. Special today is no free Chippy Friday because their charts disappeared. So instead, we'll do this.
Well, okay then. Do I shill Quadzilla at this point? I think everybody who's watching probably either knows about it or has already got it. But just a very quick mention. I mean, we'll be talking about Quadzilla quite some amount. I mean, I've only got 10 minutes to go, but you might mention Quadzilla a bit more as well. But anyway, as you'll see, Quadzilla really does give you a trading edge. Just do go check it out, because it's it pays for itself just bloody quickly. It really does, and then it's essentially printing money for you. So go check it out. So liquidation heat map. Let's have a very quick look. Probably ought to refresh. Okay. Yeah, but I was going to say, having just done that, I might just reduce that down for a sec to kind of scalping territory. So 24-hour. It's so like just in the middle now, isn't it? There's obvious liquidity on both in both directions. That's kind of a could go either way type of a chart. So. It's also, I don't know, it's not showing much strength there at the moment, is it? That gives the sense that it's failing to get, because if you view that, if we do that as kind of like a 50% line, like a fair value zone going through the middle, because you've got like, I could just do this on the actual chart, but just very quickly, like along there, the price has kind of spiraled its way, as in like wound its way, just kind of corkscrew style along that kind of middle line, and it broke above it, failed to stay above there. It's now mostly below it, but just kind of like hitting resistance really at the 50% line. So and not showing any great sign of smashing up through it. So likely it's going to just plop down to the downside, just flop with market weakness to the downside, and then maybe do something like this, have a bit of a bounce, and that might be the way that, or probably down here, it's likely to head back down to that sort of range 65-ish, or maybe above, kind of 65.5, before it like really kind of rebounds and heads up and eats up some of that liquidity above. So keep in mind that that was just a 24-hour thing. So that's very sort of short term, whatever it's going to do there. So if we pop to this and have a look, so while we're on the short term state of things, then this is on the 30-minute chart, and here's a line I drew in at some point, and so that line is still very much acting as support along there. I mean, well, in fact, I should just do that. You can kind of see. Actually, where did that go to? Oh, it just goes on forever. That's fine. So price is very much interacting with it there. There's a bit of a fair value zone, just like zapping its way through there, and then became support, bounced away from it now. It's not doing a strong rebound like it did there. It's more of a sort of can't really quite manage it kind of a rebound. So again, suggesting that there's not very much strength in the market just there at the moment. It feels like it needs to kind of come down, maybe hit that again before it, if it's gonna head to the upside strongly, which I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna. So we do have this retracement level just up here that's been drawing. That's at 70, I think it's 70.5. Sort of between that and that, it's like they're kind of marking out a bit of a channel. This thingamajigs. Sorry, I've got a Easter weekend fuzz brain at the moment, but the fib retracement on here is essentially one that I probably drew in slightly wrongly yesterday, in the sense that let's just do this. In the sense that from there down, you can kind of see that. Click on it. There's a top. So kind of drew it from there down to there. Probably not quite right by any means.
Do you tend to include wicks or not?
Depends. Depends what I fancy doing. In this case, I did. Yeah. It's also just more. You can kind of let the price movements tell you, really. Because like if the price action, if the price history, the very recent price history doesn't really line up, then if you're going wick to wick, then obviously just candle opens, candle close instead seems to do it. But so it's going to be like one or the other. So it feels like it's cheating slightly, but it's very much just like letting the chart tell you what to do. So yeah, what I would say there's some kind of, in fact, having just noted that I probably drew that wrong, I'll just delete it. So there's some very nice Quadzilla retracement level action going on here. So like that bearish level just there, very much kind of noted when it started plotting back there at the arrowhead. It's sort of saying, oh hey, you know what, the price is very likely going to come up to this level and then drop back down, whoop, and down. So that was kind of perfect. So that level now, I could probably just draw a continuation of that, like so. And you notice it kind of very much tied in with that level back there. So there's been consistency throughout. This one again, I mean, obviously the price was a bit more violent at that stage. So on this one, so it's kind of saying that, oh hey, look, the price is going to come up to here, go like slightly above, as did there as well, but it went very much higher above here, and then it's going to drop back down. So back down it went. So yeah, there was that, and that was pretty nice. There's barely see it there, but that bullish retracement level was saying, hey, the price above is going to, because it goes up, then down, then up during its step 3 where the line is a bit thinner. So in this case, for the step 3, you kind of want the price to come back up and then keep on going up, because you'd enter a long for that. It's tricky price action on that one, because the price came up, just kind of almost touched it, but not quite. It was probably a cent away from touching that level, so it carried on drawing. But then it did come up anyway and went on above it. And in fact, the overall trend there was very much up, you can see. So yeah, that's a half hour. We could, if I just,
if you're a bit short of time, so we could answer WJM's question at the same time.
Is that this one? So
yeah.
So 1 hour, red or green, big bar, then for sure. Let's have a look at that. So the bar color changes that WJM is talking about there. These ones down here, we get like a green bar, red bars here. So not the little ones. So those are something else. So what these basically mean is that if the price has, if the momentum down here, because it's momentum oscillator, if the momentum has worked its way down here into kind of oversold, then at that stage, if this kind of band, the convergence band, actually let's switch off the RSI. There we go, it's better. So if the RSI, if the convergence band comes together and curves around, then while it's in oversold, and it does it in a very convincing sort of way, then we essentially get a green bar gets drawn in, just to really highlight that, hey guys, there's a change in market conditions here. We're getting a reversal, so it's going to be very likely that that the price is going to reverse direction, coming down. Now it's going to work its way up. But here, of course, it wasn't that convincing a thing, because the price didn't do a sharp V-shaped reversal or anything like that. It's more of a bounce. It's like a dead cat bounce virtually. It's weak. Starts to build up strength there, but still doing that, oscillating. So if we'd gone back in time, if we were just like right there. Oh yeah, the other thing is the intensity of the green or red bar increases if it's a stronger signal as well. But in this case, because the price did reverse for sure, but as I said, there just wasn't that much strength in it really. So there are other things we can look at within Quadzilla to help to just tell us that that's kind of the case. There's a really obvious one just in this example, which is of course the trend shield. So that's the sort of downward facing red triangles here. Those are kind of saying like, yeah, that's happening. The momentum looks like it's on the reverse, but the overall trend is still kind of downwards. So, and in this case, these are not very sort of filled out. They're not very vibrant red triangles. So suggesting that the trend shield itself is just saying like, yeah, there's price moves, trend to the downside, but it's not very strong. So in fact, in this case, because we had the more vibrant green bar with a reversal, that kind of overcame that. But it's showing that there's a definite kind of just tug of war going on in the market there. So people just want to be buying, but also probably a roughly equal amount of people just want to be selling. So, and you can kind of see that playing out. We end up with this kind of just not very strong price reversal. Also, the EMA trends are very much just kind of downwards. When we got to this bit, they it's just definite downward trend. I mean, that's kind of, so this doesn't, the trend shield doesn't get its trend data from the EMAs or anything like that. It's kind of more within what it's calculating down there to do with the momentum and things. But these kind of agree that there's still very much a downward trend. Even along here, these are still coming down. So you can kind of tell that that's not going to be a strong reversal there. Another thing that would tell you is this retracement level, the bullish retracement level here. The price didn't quite hit it there, so that would have been lovely. I think if the price had come down and actually completed that that retracement level just there, then that would have been kind of a strong signal for a sharper bounce. And in fact, it only happens along here when the price eventually does, after that initial kind of fake out to the upside, the price just comes down. It actually wicks down and completes that retracement level, and then you do get a sharper bounce to the upside. Sort of from there, say from the level itself, if you were seeing that as a signal to go long, before it came down again, that would have turned into like a 4% bounce, essentially. So that's a whole bunch of different things really that you can use to check. That there are others. Trying to think what else, but I guess those are kind of the main ones really.
I think the overall thing in that particular example is the fact that the trend was actually quite strongly downwards, but the momentum was showing signs of a reversal, but the trend was still down. So in fact, what we did actually get was just like a little relief, and then the proper dump happened afterwards. And then once that had done, you can see on the EMAs that the trend did start to change in the way that
along this bit here, they even cross over to the upside as well.
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing you're looking for. So if we look at the most recent 1 hour green bar, which I think, if I'm looking at the same thing,
Is that the one you mean?
That was yesterday afternoon. Was that 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon? Is that?
Yeah. That's the one.
So this one's slightly different in a way that we weren't getting the trend shields or anything like that. So in a way, it kind of wasn't being sucked down as hard, sort of thing. There were no particular retracement levels to look at there, other than that one above us, which was a bearish one, which actually soon actually got closed.
In that one,
it actually got closed.
Might I say that? I mean, this is probably separate from that, but look at that series of retracement levels there, because that one went into its step 3, touched down perfectly on that, and then started to redraw again. That one kind of finished there. This one started to redraw. Doink, just absolutely perfect. So that was rather nice. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So this one's slightly different in the way that it's not looking like a particularly, it wasn't such a massive big dump that it's going to go straight back up again. Because the trend is not quite so down. It's not downwards quite so much. It's going a bit more sideways now, isn't it?
As in along there.
Yeah.
So it's an absolute crab walk, really. It's just,
So once again, I would say that that isn't a particularly strong signal that we're going to boom back up, just because there's not enough agreement of things really. And you can see that the actual momentum band itself is just kind of, it's gone like big and floppy. And it's just, it's just not just floundering away, isn't it? Sort of.
Along there. It doesn't really have a direction at that point for definite. The momentum overall is just kind of, it's all over the place, isn't it? I mean, these are obviously different time frames. So you get the because it's a quad momentum oscillator, so you get the four different time frames that it's using to draw that band. And so at that stage it's flopping all over the place, as I say. So, yeah.
And I suppose to look at the other
direction.
Yeah, and I suppose to look at the other side of it is if you look back on the red background, is that a super up? I can see super down. Right? I can see that.
This one here,
on the red one. Yeah.
It is.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the opposite, obviously. So at this point in time, you can see from the EMAs that the trend was at that point going to the upside. And then you can see that the momentum band was getting really, really high up into the 80% sort of area, at which point you got the red band. Then you got the red super down signal as well. So that is normally a pretty strong sign that is going to reverse. It's going to come back down.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that overall trend from there, it really did, didn't it? It's all of that, really. So that was a very nice super down signal to take, if anyone did. You can also see it in the convergence band itself with the momentum that also, of course, is doing that.
Yeah.
The faster moving red oscillator there was obviously just jumping around quite a lot because it was kind of reflecting quite closely the price action there. But then the white is the sort of smoothed out. It's the weighted average of the four, but very much biased towards the slower moving. So so that has a slightly sort of more austere sort of movement. Rather than the jumping around. So so overall trend down for sure. I wouldn't normally kind of do this, but just a quick look. If I bring in for a sec the number 4 stochastic, which is the slowest moving one, then you can kind of see with that was just kind of waving its way down as well, much more smoothed out line. So you can kind of see even that was kind of remaining up there in overbought, and then just kind of works its way down, and then you can kind of see especially when it rounded that corner. It's very much just a downward thing, but it was very much on the cards because you could kind of see here that was working its way down in any case. So even while all that seemed a bit indecisive just there, this is building towards a big drop. So you just kind of see the way it's descending, descending shallowly before the big descent. So yeah. Oops.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right. I hope that helped a little bit. But I think with most things, if you're unsure of what might happen, go back and look at the last time or two that happened, and just try and look to see what occurred, and what behaved. It's worth looking at when various EMAs cross over as well. So we've got what we call the normal crossovers, which is when the 21 and 55 cross, and then we've got the faster crossover as well, which is the 9 and 21 EMAs when they cross over as well. And that's always quite significant. If you see that kind of thing, it's normally quite a good sign of a change in trend. Doesn't necessarily mean that's your entry, but that's the sort of thing you're looking for. So you don't want to be kind of fighting against trends too much, unless you really are trying to catch a falling knife, or whatever the opposite is of catching a falling knife.
Don't know.
Not sure what that would be, actually.
Riding a cannonball or something, I don't know.
something like that. Something like that. Anyway, good. Cool. Okay.
I probably ought to skedaddle. I think I'll get a bunch of earache if I don't. So,
okay, no worries. All right. Well, thanks for that. Anyway.
For sure. Yeah.
To be honest, I'm probably going to shit off myself and get myself prepared for the arson thing. I've got a list of questions that I've got to translate from Welsh. Well, not quite. But I think Roman's just taken them out of the chat and stuff, and there's like the punctuation is so bad that I need to make it so I can actually read them. Anyway.
Oh, did you include the ones that I put into that chat? Because I didn't put them in the Telegram group, but I think just
quite possibly there was a lot of very similar questions, so they've been kind of grouped together a little bit.
Yeah,
so
probably by proxy in any case. I think.
Yeah. What were yours particularly about? Any?
Oh, let me just find them. I'll have to just. I'm just going to remove me. I'm just going to re-add to your screen share. Just let me find Telegram. 1 second. Where did I go? Oh, yeah, sorry. Too many. Too many screens. Like a professional, just screens everywhere. Not really. So, is it this one? Yeah. So, I was wondering about a dark mode for the app, and if they can add a checkbox to hide small or zero balances. It's in our conversation with Roman.
Right.
My main question though would be about the free tier, and if there's a way to make it more of a no-brainer for new customers. Not suggesting they give away free physical cards, because it's just, let's just lose money. But I don't know, maybe just better XTP cashback, albeit locked up for longer, maybe, or something like that. Just to make, because at the moment, if they want new customers, then their entry level offering kind of has to be attractive, doesn't it? And a bit better than, or at least level with, kind of the equivalents from other companies, with a similar offering or whatever, doing a similar business. So, and at the moment, I don't think it matches up. So it kind of needs to be something that's maybe equal to them, but also a bit unique to tap as well.
Right. For some reason, those questions didn't make it into the final thing. But what I will do is I will include that in the question that's about marketing and promotion and stuff like that. I will wangle it into that. I'm not quite sure.
You got the one about the dark mode, do you? And the checkbox.
Weirdly enough, no. You got completely ignored, actually.
Well, okay. I was wondering about a dark mode for the app. That's it.
Okay. Well, I will.
And
I don't know why that's not
also
here.
Well, I just said it about 4 times. And see, why is it not already written? Well, the chat with Roman in Telegram.
Right,
me and Roman.
Okay, right. Okay. I think what happened is the set of questions got sent to Arson, and then he probably sent back the ones that he wanted to answer.
Okay. Oh, maybe, I mean, it's good to throw in a few curveballs, I think.
But yeah, I mean, I am going to try and, I'll have a look at that before we do it, and I'll
sure. I mean, they're pretty innocuous, to be honest. Like, asking about a dark mode, but also something that would really help would be just adding a checkbox in the portfolio to hide like zero balances, because like if you got you can drag around the individual assets and things in there, the individual cryptos or whatever. So the ones you're interested in, you can move to the top, but it's still really finicky. Like, it should just be able to say, only show me the ones that I've actually got some balance of. And last time I checked, there's no way to do that. So you have to like scroll through hundreds of them to find what you're actually interested in.
Oh, Okay.
Am I the only one that's?
I think you're probably the only person who's tried to use the app actually, but
Yeah, possibly.
I was looking at it again yesterday, and I must admit I looked at their website and looked at the blogs and stuff that have been written, and you know, there's one about Polka Starter there. I mean, Polka Starter's
Bloody
dead.
hell!
You know, it's like you know, why
I
have they
still
done
got
that?
some.
I think it's
I still got some Polka Starter coins as well.
I actually wonder
must
if
be
it's
worth
like
a fortune by now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they've gone to their favorite AI thing and actually said like, what crypto does TMG like, and then you know, and then can you
Definite influence there, I think. Yeah.
Well, I think so, because he was the only person I've ever known mention it, you know, and then it died.
Yeah.
And which is never very good. But then I thought, well, hang on, this article's, because the article's from last year, and I was thinking like, well, you know, it was still pretty dead then. Like, why on earth would you bring out an article about that when it's not even a token they've got on the app, you know? So like, why the hell is it there? So then I put it into an AI checker thing, and it said like, this is 89% AI, and then it was all written in dollars as well, and that was on the GB site as well, which also the GB site has got loads of like euros mixed in with it, and it's a mess really.
Comes across as a bit kind of thoughtless, really.
Yeah, and then what I found was
aimed at.
And then what I found was once I got into I ended up in a sort of subdomain on the website, like I think it was like investor.tap.global or whatever, and realized that all the terms and condition links, they're all broken. All the disclaimer links are all broken. Things are bloody mess, to be honest. It's like, anyway, I don't think I'm actually allowed to say why is your website still a piece of shit, you know, sort of. But
I mean, I hope he isn't watching this now as a preview.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. You might find you don't have that call after all this afternoon. Oh, inexplicably cancelled. Oh, why ever?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should cut that bit off the end of the live stream. I don't know, but anyway, it's anyway. I have to say positive.
Oh yeah, but I mean, sure, it's a genuine interest in the product, isn't it? So we're not like kind of whinging about a thing that we want to see fail. It's like we very much want to see it succeed. So all of the any criticism like comes from a good place, you know, from a well-intentioned place. It's so hopefully they see that as well.
I mean, I can, I don't know. I don't think there's any excuse for broken links these days. There's enough tools to check these things, you know.
It's a bit sloppy. Yeah,
it's not good. It's and like, you know, if you've got a crappy user experience, then you know, people are just going to go elsewhere, aren't they? Anyway, so
the other thing you mentioned a subdomain, because like, you know, like with Google, and it's kind of site ranking and all that stuff. I think they do kind of frown on subdomains in a single site as well. So it actually weakens the you know, the link strength and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of your territory, isn't it? But,
yeah, it can do. I mean, you tend to use it for like siloing, you know. So if you've got like a part of the website that definitely belongs in a different place to the rest of it, then you know, that's fairly acceptable sort of thing to use subdomains for that. But the mistake they've made there is, I think what they've done, they've written the stuff originally with a link going to say, like, you know, well, let's, for the sake of it, let's say like tap.com/disclaimer. And then I think they'd move the pages into a subdomain.
So the site route is now different.
Yeah, and they haven't updated the links, and so all the links are broken, you know. But it's such a, you know, it's such a 1998 mistake, you know, like
it is. Rookie error.
It's embarrassing, to be honest, actually. But anyway,
well, it's right next to the under construction sign on the side, isn't it? This site works best with Internet Explorer 3. Sort of.
Yeah, and Netscape.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway,
thinking back to those days now. So right, I want to skedaddle. And
I must not snag it off anymore. All right. Well, thanks for coming anyway, and I'll see you Monday, if not before.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
For everyone else coming along, thanks very much for coming along. Please do give this stream a like. I will be doing something over the weekend. I'm not quite sure, but there'll definitely be something each day. So please make sure you are subscribed and all that good stuff. And thanks again. Trade safe, and no market open today, so we'll see what happens. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.